Philadelphia news, team of my heart. The Sixers news you've been waiting for is finally here. Joel Embiid has signed a massive $190 million extension with the Philadelphia 76ers, committing his future to the franchise. After years of ups and downs, injuries, and close playoff heartbreaks, the Sixers have officially locked in their MVP. But what does this mean for Philly's championship hopes? Can this team, with Embiid at the core, finally break through and deliver the title this city craves? We'll break down how this extension impacts the Sixers roster, their cap space, and the moves they still need to make to get over the hump. Sixers news has never been this important. You won't want to miss how the team plans to build around Embiid and what the 2024-2025 season could hold. The clock is ticking, and the pressure is on. Is this finally the year the Sixers bring home the championship? Tune in to get the full breakdown and stay up to date on the latest Sixers news. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss a moment of this epic journey with the Sixers. When you think about Joel Embiid, it's not just the MVP awards, the All-Star selections, or even the jaw-dropping performances that come to mind. It's the feeling you get when you see him on the court, representing Philadelphia with every ounce of his being. This extension, this massive, multi-year commitment, isn't just about numbers. It's about loyalty. It's about a man who came to this city as a raw, 20-year-old talent from Cameroon and turned into one of the most iconic figures in Sixers history. You know what that means. You've watched him grow, struggle, and dominate. You've felt the pain when the Sixers fell short, but you've also felt the thrill when Embiid took over games, making you believe that, yes, this could be the year. But let's talk about the pain. Year after year, you've watched this team fall just short. The process was long and agonizing. You've seen injuries rob players of their potential, trades that didn't pan out, and playoff runs that ended too soon. And through it all, Embiid was there, carrying the weight of those expectations on his shoulders. How many times have you wondered if the Sixers would ever break through? How many times did you find yourself thinking, is Embiid going to stay? Is he going to leave us like others have in the past? That anxiety is real. But now? Now, you can finally breathe a little easier. Embiid isn't going anywhere. This extension proves that. When Embiid says, Philadelphia is home, it hits different. It's not just another player spouting off the typical PR-approved line. No, this is Embiid speaking from the heart. He wants to be here. He wants to bring a championship to this city, to the fans who've supported him through all the ups and downs. You feel that, don't you? That's what makes this moment so special. This isn't just a business transaction. This is personal. It's about the connection Embiid has with you, with this community, with this team. And let's be real, this extension is as much about the future as it is about the present. The Sixers front office is sending a clear message: they are all in on winning a title, and they're doing it with Joel Embiid at the helm. Daryl Morey, the mastermind behind so many moves, knows that you're tired of coming up short. He knows that you don't want another almost season. That's why this extension is more than just a number. It's a commitment to building around Embiid, to giving him the pieces he needs to finally bring that elusive championship back to Philly. And what about Embiid? You can see the evolution. This is no longer the kid who was raw with potential. He's become one of the most dominant forces in the NBA, a two-way player who strikes fear into opponents on both ends of the floor. Every time he steps on the court, you know he's a game changer. His combination of size, strength, and finesse is something this league has rarely seen. He's not just a superstar, he's your superstar. And now, you get to watch him lead this team for years to come. The Sixers are locking in a player who isn't just integral to their success, he is their success. Embiid has carried this team through the highs and lows, and this contract ensures that he will continue to do so for the foreseeable future. But let's not sugarcoat it, you've been here before, right? Promises of a championship, hopes raised only to be dashed. But this time, it feels different. This time, Embiid isn't just a piece of the puzzle. He is the puzzle, the cornerstone that the Sixers will build around for a true shot at the title. When you saw Embiid with his family by his side, signing that contract, didn't it feel like a weight had been lifted? All summer long, you've been hearing the whispers, the rumors, the speculations. Is Embiid happy? Is he frustrated with the Sixers? Will he want out? But now, you know the truth. He's committed. He's all in. And that means you can be, too. Imagine what this extension means for the Sixers moving forward. The roster is taking shape with some fresh faces, some proven veterans, and of course, the undeniable talent of Tyrese Maxey by Embiid's side. You've seen glimpses of what this team can be, but now it feels like the pieces are truly falling into place. The Sixers are making their move, and Embiid is leading the charge. You know it, and deep down, you can feel that something special is brewing in Philly. And if there's one thing you can always count on with Embiid, it's his loyalty. How many players in today's NBA would stick it out like this? In a league where stars jump from team to team chasing rings, Embiid's commitment to Philadelphia is rare, and you know it. This city has embraced him, and he's embraced you right back. Through the setbacks, the heartbreaks, and the frustrations, Embiid has never wavered in his desire to win here. Not somewhere else. Here. That kind of dedication is what makes this extension mean so much more than just a contract. The bottom line? You've been waiting for this. You've been waiting for the moment when it all comes together. This extension is the foundation for what's to come. It's the promise that Embiid is here to stay, that he's ready to continue the fight, and that you won't have to wonder if your superstar is going to walk away. Now, it's about the future. It's about finally getting over the hump, and you can feel that Embiid is the man who's going to lead the way. This is Sixers news that changes everything. So now that the extension is official, you've got to ask yourself, what does this mean for the Sixers' championship hopes? Does this finally feel like the moment where things start to click? Think about it. Embiid, locked in for the long haul, sends a message not only to the league but to the Sixers organization itself. This isn't just another season of let's see what happens. This is a commitment to winning, and you can feel that the clock is ticking. How many more years can you afford to wait for that elusive championship run? You've been patient long enough, haven't you? Look at how the front office is moving. They didn't just sign Embiid to an extension because it was the easy thing to do. No, they're building around him. They know, just like you do, that Embiid isn't in his prime forever. The urgency is there, and you can see it in the moves that are happening. A fresh roster, a mix of veterans and young talents, it's all geared toward maximizing this window of opportunity. You can't help but feel like this could be it. But at the same time, you've been let down before. So, what makes this year different? What makes you believe this could finally be the year? And speaking of belief, let's talk about Embiid's mindset. When he says Philadelphia is home, he's not just playing to the crowd. You can tell he means it. He's been through the hard times. He's seen this team rise and fall. But despite all the setbacks, he's still here, still ready to lead the charge. That's what makes him different from so many other superstars who would have jumped ship by now. You can tell that Embiid isn't just playing for himself, he's playing for this city, for the fans, and for you. Can you really imagine anyone else leading this team to a title? You know what this extension really represents? It's a signal that the Sixers are done waiting. They've put their faith in Embiid, and they're ready to make the moves necessary to compete for a championship. Think about it, this roster isn't built for development anymore. It's built to win now. You've got guys like Tyrese Maxey stepping up, and you've seen how a few veteran pieces can change the entire dynamic of a team. But here's the real question, will it be enough? Can Embiid, with the right supporting cast, finally get this team over the hump? You've been on this ride for a while now. You've seen the highs, those dominant regular seasons, the MVP moments, the flashes of brilliance in the playoffs. But you've also felt the lows, heartbreaking Game 7 losses, injuries that derailed entire seasons, and those moments when it felt like everything was about to fall apart. Through all of it, Embiid was the constant. And now, with this extension, you can feel that he's not done yet. He's got more to prove, not just to the league, but to you, the fans who have stuck by him from the start. This extension isn't just about securing a superstar. It's about hope. You've been hoping for that one magical season where everything comes together, where the Sixers make the leap from contenders to champions. And now, with Embiid at the helm for the foreseeable future, you can't help but wonder, will this be the year? Will this finally be the season where all the pieces fall into place, and you get to see the Sixers lift the trophy? It's tough, though, isn't it? After all the ups and downs, after all the promises of next year, it's hard to fully believe. But with Embiid leading the charge and a new-look roster taking shape, you've got to admit, there's something different in the air. Can you feel it? It's like the pressure is building, and you know that something big is coming. The Sixers aren't just playing to compete anymore. They're playing to win it all. But does this team have what it takes to go all the way? You've seen what happens when Embiid is on his game. He's unstoppable, a force of nature on both ends of the floor. But as much as he's the foundation, you know it takes more than just one player to win a title. The supporting cast, the coaching, the chemistry, it all has to come together. And with this extension, the Sixers are making it clear that they're putting everything on the line. They believe in Embiid. But do you? Do you believe this is the squad that can finally end the championship drought? If there's one thing you've learned from following this team, it's that nothing comes easy. The road to a title is never smooth, and the Sixers have had more than their share of bumps along the way. But with Embiid's extension, there's a sense of stability now. You know he's here to stay. You know he's committed to seeing this thing through. So the question becomes, are you ready for the next chapter? Are you ready to see how far Embiid can take this team? It's not just about the regular season anymore. It's about the playoffs. It's about pushing past the second round, about proving that this team isn't just built to make noise, but to make history. You've been there before, on the edge of your seat, hoping that this would be the year it all comes together. And every time, it's ended in disappointment. But this time, with Embiid locked in and the roster coming into focus, it feels like you might be on the brink of something special. What do you think? Is this finally the team that can bring a championship to Philly? So now that you've got Joel Embiid locked in, the real question is, what's next? You know this extension is huge, but does it really guarantee the Sixers are set for a deep playoff run? You've seen this team come close so many times, but close isn't good enough anymore, is it? With Embiid officially committed, the spotlight is on the rest of the organization. You've got Daryl Morey at the helm, who's made moves before. He's a guy who knows how to shake things up. But you have to ask yourself, are these new pieces enough to push this team over the edge? Can they build the kind of chemistry that wins championships? You've been through the heartbreak before. The endless retooling, the near misses, the almosts. But with Embiid locked in and the roster shaping up, you can't help but feel that something has to give this time. The fans, the city, you're ready. The question is, are the Sixers ready? Is this the team that can finally put it all together and bring a title home? You've seen how Embiid has evolved. He's become the face of the franchise, a dominant force, but he needs the right support around him. Do you think the front office has done enough to surround him with the talent needed to go all the way? You know that the Sixers' window is wide open right now, but how long will it stay that way? Embiid's in his prime, but the NBA moves fast, and you've got other teams gunning for the same prize. The pressure is on. You've seen it happen before, teams that seem destined for greatness only to fall short. But with this extension, the Sixers are making it clear, they're committed to winning, and they're committed to winning now. But does that give you confidence, or does it make you nervous? After all, you've been here before. Do you really believe this time will be different? And then there's the rest of the squad. You've got Tyrese Maxey, a young player who's shown flashes of brilliance. You've got veterans like Eric Gordon and Kelly Oubre Jr., players who have experience but are still hungry. This is a team that's ready to compete, but as you know, the playoffs are a whole different game. Regular season success is great, but you want more than that, don't you? You're thinking about the finals, about that parade down Broad Street. The Sixers have the pieces, but do they have what it takes to get through the toughest moments when it really matters? Can this team finally break the curse and deliver? You can see it, can't you? The Sixers, led by Embiid, making a run for the title. You've waited long enough, and now it feels like the moment is here. But you also know that the road to a championship is full of challenges. Injuries, bad matchups, and sometimes just plain bad luck, it can all derail a promising season. But with Embiid's extension, the Sixers have made it clear that they're not afraid to face those challenges head-on. The question is, are you ready for what's coming? Do you have the faith that this team can handle the pressure, make the right adjustments, and finally bring a championship back to Philly? You've seen the ups and downs, but deep down, you know that this is the team with the potential to make history. Embiid isn't just a player, he's the heart and soul of the Sixers. And now that he's locked in, you know he's all in. But that doesn't mean the path ahead will be easy. The competition is fierce, and every game will be a battle. So, where does that leave you? Can you see this team battling through the playoffs, overcoming the obstacles, and lifting that trophy? Here's where it gets real. You've got the franchise cornerstone in place. You've got a front office willing to make moves. But you know it's not just about making moves, it's about making the right ones. And you've seen how just one trade or one injury can shift the entire landscape of a season. But with Embiid leading the way, do you feel like the Sixers are prepared for anything that comes their way? Or are you still holding your breath, waiting to see if this team has truly turned the corner? Now, imagine what it would feel like. That moment when the clock hits 0 in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and the Sixers are crowned champions. The confetti falling, the fans going wild, Embiid raising the trophy. You've been dreaming of that moment for years, haven't you? And with Embiid's extension, you can almost taste it. But as close as it feels, the journey is far from over. There's still so much work to be done. But you've stuck with this team through thick and thin, and now it's time to believe that the payoff is coming. So here's the deal, you've heard the Sixers news, you know what's at stake. The Sixers have put their faith in Embiid, and now it's time for you to do the same. But let's not kid ourselves, this isn't going to be easy. It's going to be a grind. It's going to test your patience, your nerves, and your belief. But when that moment finally comes, when the Sixers bring home that championship, it's going to be worth every second. So, are you ready to ride this wave with Embiid and the Sixers? If you believe this is the year, then make sure you subscribe and hit that bell. You won't want to miss a second of this run. Every game, every highlight, every moment, it's all leading to something special. You've been with this team through it all. Now, let's make sure you're there for what comes next.